Welcome to today's explainer. Look, for the next 10 minutes or so, I want you to think of me as your mentor. If you're sitting there right now, an eager entrepreneur with a massive dream but absolutely no clue how to actually make it happen, well, you are in the exact right place. We're going over a masterclass blueprint today on how to start a business from absolute zero. This is all pulled from decades of hard-won, in-the-trenches entrepreneurial experience. Our main goal here? Fundamentally shifting your mindset about what it actually takes to build a durable, wildly successful business. We're going to strip away all the fluff, focus on ultra-low-cost operations, and really dial in on your true north. Okay, let's dive into this. So, ever since we were kids, right, we've all been hit with the exact same, honestly kind of limiting question. What do you want to be when you grow up? I'm here to tell you that question is a trap. It completely boxes you into some pre-existing job role. If you want to be an entrepreneur, there is literally only one question that matters. What problem does your business solve? Seriously, problem solving is the absolute definition of generating money. If you can figure out a way to solve a massive headache for people, I promise you, the money naturally follows. But you've got to start by finding that pain point first, not by picking out the fancy job title you want.
Now, look at the stark contrast between these two mentalities. You hear a lot of folks pitch ideas saying, oh, this fills a massive market gap, we're going to be rich. But listen, filling a market gap, that's just a nice bonus. It's not enough fuel to sustain you. What you actually need is a deep, totally unshakable purpose. Think about nurses for a second. Historically, nurses rarely go on strike, right? No matter the pay. Why is that? Because their purpose is literally life or death. If they don't show up, people suffer. You need that level of purpose in your business. Maybe it's building the exact product you desperately needed when you were a 15-year-old kid. Humans are just inherently lazy. And when things get impossibly hard, and trust me, for sure they will, your purpose is the only engine that'll keep you moving forward.
Okay, so once you have that unshakable purpose, you have to plant it in the right soil. And this brings us to something almost nobody talks about: physical location. Please do not get stuck in the town you were born in just because it feels comfortable. You have got to go where the opportunity actually is. If you're manufacturing something, look at Shenzhen, like 90% of the world's wealth patents are there. Hunting for venture capital, San Francisco's your spot. Building in Web3, check out Dubai with its 0% tax rate. Or if you need a rock-solid corporate structure to break into the Asian market, Hong Kong offers a flat 15% tax with no double taxation. Now, I know exactly what you're thinking. I don't have the cash to move to these crazy expensive cities. We need to break that limiting belief right now. You buy the cheapest ticket you can find, you sleep on a buddy's couch, you apply for accelerators that will literally pay to fly you out. You must physically surround yourself with the environment that breeds the success you want. So let's talk survival. The most crucial number you need to burn into your brain is 0. If you are going to survive and actually build this business, you absolutely must get your initial business and personal costs down to 0. The system, it's basically designed to keep you trapped in debt, right? Paying for stuff you don't even need, which forces you to work a job you probably hate just to cover the bills. The lower your costs, the more absolute freedom you have to build your dream. Let's get real about what 0 actually looks like. It is time for some serious, tough love cuts. Got a brand new car? Sell it today. Buy a 3-year-old beater, or honestly, better yet, just walk. Cancel every single non-essential subscription. Netflix is just dragging you down right now. Live on your parents' sofa, or sleep under your desk at the office if you have to. And when you start building your team, do not go taking out massive loans just to pay huge salaries. Offer equity instead. Ask a potential lead developer or a co-founder to invest their time for a stake in the company. This is actually the ultimate test, by the way, because if they say no, it means your purpose doesn't excite them enough. But if they say yes, boom, you just weeded out the mercenaries and found a true believer who actually cares about the mission, not just the monthly paycheck. Let's look at a real-world example of this, because a lot of founders completely panic when their core idea isn't making millions on day one. Just look at the Airbnb hustle timeline. On day one, they had 0 cash to pay developers. So what they do? They gave away their spare rooms for free to some tech guys in exchange for coding the actual platform. Then, to keep the lights on, they didn't just sit around waiting for the app to take off. No, they literally bought cheap cereal, repackaged it into novelty boxes like Obama O's and McCain snacks, and sold them at political rallies. I mean, they used the profits from a totally random cereal side hustle to fund their massive tech dream. Your initial idea doesn't have to be the exact thing that pays the bills right away. You got to get creative. Clean windows, do some freelance copywriting, sell novelty cereal, whatever it takes to fund your true purpose. Now, eventually, you probably will need to raise some real capital. And when that day comes, here is a psychological trick that completely flips the script. Lean in for this one because it's an absolute game changer. If you walk up to an investor and bluntly ask for their money, human instinct immediately kicks in. They're going to deflect, put their guard up, and probably just give you a bunch of advice instead. But if you approach them, make them feel deeply valued, and simply ask for their advice, you will almost always walk away with their money.
Investors love feeling like their hard-earned knowledge is being utilized. They want to know you're the kind of founder who listens and adapts. So don't march in there acting like you're on some reality TV pitch show demanding a huge valuation. Build a real relationship, genuinely ask for their wisdom, and I promise you, the funding will follow. All right, take a look at this equation right here. 1 + 1 = 11. Now, they definitely do not teach this in business school, but it is a massive key to explosive nonlinear growth. See, we're all trained to view competitors as these bloodthirsty enemies we have to destroy. That is a huge mistake. Your competitors are actually your greatest comrades. Why? Because they are literally the only other people on Earth trying to solve the exact same massive problem that you care so deeply about. So let me share a few incredibly clever leverage tactics pulled straight from our source material. Take Elon Musk. Back in the early days, he was building an early version of X, which was competing directly and brutally with PayPal. But instead of fighting this exhausting, totally draining war, he actually merged with Peter Thiel and the PayPal team. He realized that 1 + 1 = 11. Or think about the story of a founder who sold his boutique marketing agency to the giant PwC. PwC had 50 global offices, but absolutely no creative industry history. The founder? He had all the creative credibility, but only 3 offices. By merging, they both skipped years of painful grinding. And hey, don't forget your own clients. If you're doing a genuinely amazing job for a massive client, ask them to fund your expansion into a new city. You give them 6 months of exclusivity in return. The point is, you don't have to build your empire completely alone. Leverage the giants that are already standing right next to you. Okay, so as you start talking to all these investors and competitors and big clients, this one question always pops up and just haunts new entrepreneurs. Do I need an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement? There is this completely paralyzing fear among new founders that the very second they whisper their precious idea out loud, some bad actor is going to swoop in and rip them off. You just assume you need to walk around covered in corporate legal armor from day one. But here is the blunt, honest truth. Your absolute best defense is painfully simple. Execute. Go fast, build the thing. The reality is, if you are moving with truly unstoppable momentum, nobody can catch you, even if they do try to copy your idea. Honestly, shoving a legal document in someone's face before you've even pitched them, it usually just causes offense and proves you really haven't done your homework on who you're actually talking to. There's this brilliant little quote from the source material that sums this up perfectly. Paper will always accept ink. Think about it. If a bad actor truly deeply wants to steal your idea and rip you off, a quick signature on a piece of paper isn't going to magically stop them. What actually matters is doing deep, thorough due diligence on your partners well before you ever let them into your inner circle. You have got to learn to say no to the wrong investors, the wrong staff, and definitely the wrong clients. A toxic investor will completely poison your cap table and ruin any chance of future funding. Trust, real relationships, and rapid execution, those matter so much more than a generic piece of paper. However, and this is a big however, while NDAs might be pretty weak armor, a trademark is your absolute, non-negotiable, must-have shield. It usually only costs around £300 or dollars, and you can just register it online through government portals. Do not skip this step. You could spend years building an incredible brand, pouring your heart and soul into a specific name, and if you don't legally own the trademark, someone else can just register it and literally force you to shut down through a legal process called passing off. They could potentially even claim all your previous profits. So get your accounting in perfect order from day one and absolutely secure that trademark. It is the one legal step you simply cannot muck around with. Well, we've definitely covered a lot of ground in this explainer, from finding a deep, life-saving purpose to drastically cutting your living costs to absolute zero, funding your dream through crazy side hustles, and actually teaming up with your competitors. It's a remarkably powerful blueprint. But when you strip it all away, it all comes down to this one final, provocative question. Will you do the hard thing now so your life gets easier later? Because look, if you choose the easy thing today, you keep the nice car, you stay in the comfy job, you hang around in the wrong city, your life is only going to get harder later on. True success demands grit, extreme frugality, and above all, immediate action. The blueprint is sitting right in front of you. The only thing left for you to do is start executing. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and honestly, I cannot wait to see what massive problems you go out there and solve.